Okay, so what I want to talk about today is letting your own expectations define you. Uh, One of the things I love about sport is it's not the physical aspect of it, it's the emotional and it's the mental aspect of it. And what I'm surprised is how many people don't talk about this stuff. And it's, arguably one of the most important things. And that's the problem is when you compete at a super super high level, regardless of your whatever category you're in, age or masters or whatever, it's a it's a the thing that separates you is your mental approach to things. And why I'm talking about this is I ran into someone that I knew and knows I race bikes, and I told him, I'll be in France in a week, less than a week. And the person asked me if I was racing the Brompton World Championships, and I'm like, no, actually, no. And what it made me think about, oddly, is racing in the Brompton World Championships was one of the best bike racing experiences in my life, because one of the things I loved about it is I went into it with zero expectations and came away with a great result, but more importantly, an amazing, amazing, amazing experience because I didn't have any expectations on myself. So why I'm mentioning this is because I'm going to get on a plane to go to France in less than a week, and I'll be there this time a week from now, October 3rd. And I'm racing 3 events: the match sprint, which I have no expectations of doing well, and not targeting, the 500 meter, which I have uh, a bit of expectation for that as far as my own performance. How that stacks to other people doesn't matter. And the other one is the team sprint, and I have high expectations for that. But again, I have no idea who's going to show up and how my teammates are going to perform, which I think they're going to do great. And why I mentioned the team sprint in particular, is something I think about about expectations, is because I've um, I've been racing that for many years now, and and with all my other races have progressed steadily. But I find myself now racing in a position of the relay. It's a 3-man relay. Of finding myself racing in a position of the relay that most people, especially me, would have never thought that I would be able to perform well at the anchor, and especially at a world level. And that's where I'll be in France for the World Championships. And I also have won the national championship in the team sprint as the anchor the last 2 years with 2 different teams. And so the commonality there is Will being the anchor, if you want to look at it that way, to win a national championship in the men's 45 to 54 class. And I think most people that know me would immediately say, oh, Will's going to be the starter, because I am one of the fastest starters, period. And that's just not the case. That particular skill set of mine doesn't help the team in the relay. It just turns out that a skill I didn't realize I had, an ability I didn't realize I had, it was to be the anchor, and that's where that goes to the expectation. Had I thought in my kept in my head that, Will, you're not strong enough to be an anchor. You're not strong enough to go the 750 meters by yourself, or not by yourself, but to last 750 meters or even a kilometer. That if I resigned myself to believing the negative chatter in my head, and actually believing the negative chatter that other people had about me, I would have never tried being the anchor. And I've kind of fell into the position because no one wants to be the anchor. No one wants to be the guy who crosses the line, last guy who crosses the line in your team, to find out that you lost. And somehow or another, a lot of times the anchor has to bear that weight of that responsibility. Even though in an event that fast, there's no thought, it's all instinct. But I fell into that position again because I wanted to be the guy that took that responsibility, that guy that could handle that mental and emotional weight of um, bringing the team home, irregardless of the outcome. And I've found that I've excelled at that position. Now, when I have two teammates ahead of me that can hand me off at a good speed, I've done fine. And this year in particular, last year we won it by 2/100ths of a second, which is small, which is a tiny margin, And this year I wanted to win again, but more importantly, do it with a larger margin than that, and I did. I succeeded in winning with quite a significant margin. Again, I didn't do it. My teammates handed me off at a good clip of speed, and I just took it home. But that said, this is the expectation aspect of it. Is if you go into things thinking, oh, I can't do this, I can't do Y, I can't do X, I can't do Y. That's not in my skill set. There's someone else better than me. You're going to find yourself missing out on these amazing opportunities, and that's the thing, is that try not to let the negative chatter define you. Obviously, you don't want to experiment too much in big events like the World Championship, but to be honest, you wouldn't be getting to the level that I'm competing at. You've already done your experimentation, everything's settled, especially in a team event, because you have to come to a consensus with your teammates that, yes, well, we have full faith in you to be the person P3 to bring us home. And that last year's experience, we lost the World Championship by a tenth of a second. We qualified second, back behind by 9/100ths of a second when the touch slower. But when it came to the final, I anchored again and went faster than I did before, but just the other team went that much faster, just a touch faster, a 100th of a second faster. And I did my best. My teammates did their best, and we all left that evening knowing we did our best, and that helped things to swallow that. I wouldn't say bitter pill. I had no expectations of doing that well, but the bitter pill of not winning a world championship by a tenth of a second. It's a bit. It's not to lose it by hundredths, if not thousands of a second. That would be really tough. But we got beat, and more importantly, both teams rode incredibly well. But again, it was going into that final race, we had an opportunity to change things up. We had an opportunity to flip it where I was the second person and Charles was the third to anchor. But we felt we should stick with what we knew and stick with the known knowns. And we knew how each member performed in those positions in the qualifier. So we just needed to go that a little bit faster. And that's way easier said than done. Coming back a second time that day in the evening, and trying to not only repeat what you just did in the morning, but go faster. And we did it. We went faster, 8/10ths of a second faster, as a matter of fact. 2/10ths per of my teammates, and I went faster by 4/10ths. That's a nice little pat on my back. 4/10ths of a second faster is no easy feat. But the Czech team, Peter, props to you guys, did the same, but they switched things up. 2020 hindsight, still went out to switch things up, but they went just a touch faster than us, and they're now world champions. So back to finish my rambling rant, is that don't let your own expectations, and especially others' expectations or perceptions of you, define you. Give yourself chances to experiment. So when you rise to the level of the stuff I'm doing, national and world championships, you get the best experience possible, and you get the best out of yourself, more importantly. Thanks for watching.